Hello fashion friends! Welcome to day 2 of the Haute Couture Fashion Week recap for the Spring and Summer 2025 season. We will be going from the early morning shows to the evening shows, so we will start with Chanel and we will end with Giorgio Armani. Don't worry, in between those big bold shows, there will be some quite theatrical collections, so it will be a big clash between the glamour and the theater. It's gonna be a very interesting recap. Please let me know down below which show and why was your favorite, and I will tell you mine at the end of this video. If you missed the day 1 recap, you can watch it up here. So yeah, that's it. Let's go. Let's start strong with Chanel. This season's collection was designed by the Chanel team that is now in charge in between the change that is happening between the creative directors, from Virginie Viard at the arrival of Matthew Blazy from Bottega Veneta, who will be taking over. The team kept the spring haute couture collection light, young and pretty in pastels all the way. During the show we could see a reinterpretation of the Chanel tweed suit, which was not an easy task. The team decided to cut the skirts above the knee and to pair them with cropped jackets, long jackets, and a cocoa cardigan jacket lined with emerald green satin. Rarely has the classic Chanel 1960s suit been reinterpreted in a way that actually looks like something that a cool young woman could wear. The main colors of the collection were white, pastels, bright tones, midnight blue, and black. The progression of the silhouettes followed a complete cycle of day to night. As for the evening wear, the Chanel team decided to go again for something more youthful with an easy-to-wear attitude, even if it's haute couture covered with extraordinary embroidery. I think it is also quite important to mention the venue of the show, which was a set at the Grand Palais. It was constructed like a huge white CC Coco Chanel letters, shaped into a continuous loop that gently swooped up and down, and the models walked around it with the audience sitting at the edges. Sitting inside it made you feel like if you were somehow surrounded by a giant Coco Chanel logo. This collection had no specific message or a dramatic inspiration. The Chanel team went the safe route, creating wearable garments, which was quite enjoyable, and I think this show was very nice. The second show of day 2 was Alexis Mabille, who is celebrating their 20 years anniversary of the brand, so this show was quite special and magical. For the lookbook of this collection, Alexis decided to invite his chosen family, an interesting lineup of his favorite creatives, including Dita Von Teese, Robert Carson, or Audrey Marnay, to pose wearing creations that paid tribute to the sartorial lexicon he started creating in 2005. Drawn from different fields, film, dance, influence, music, photography, and media, these talents share one defining quality: elegance. He said, "I don't want to do a big expensive show when all I feel like doing is hanging out with the people who've been with me from the beginning," which is why he invited his couture clients, stylists, and editors to a cozy night in the back room at Caviar Caspia to celebrate together. 35 looks were inspired by the achievements of his career so far. Drawing from an electric mix of cinema, dance, music, photography, and media, collection embodies a free-spirited, audacious, and intergenerational vision of haute couture. Every silhouette is carefully crafted to highlight the distinct personality and natural chic of the wearer, because at the heart of couture lies the delicate artistry of tailoring pieces that reflect individuality and confidence. From sculptural tailoring to romantic draping, from sumptuous embroidery and ethereal sheerness, every piece showcases the world of Alexis Mabille. The collection was an ode to self-expression, craftsmanship, and the limitless possibilities of haute couture. Through this collection, Mabille proves once again that couture is not just about fabric and thread. It's about emotion, power, and the ability to make every individual shine in their own way. After Alexis Mabille, on the schedule was Stéphane Rolland, with his collection inspired by Josephine Baker and Brancusi. Stéphane Rolland's Spring 2025 couture collection opened with a sharp note, an acknowledgement of privilege and a call to reflection. Before the first look even hit the runway, a video highlighted Rolland's initiative supporting a group of teenage girls, an unexpected but thought-provoking moment that reframed the space in which haute couture exists. It asked the audience, comprised of the industry's most privileged, to look beyond fashion's opulence and consider the power of couture as a force for greater change. Half of the tickets to this season's catwalk display were sold to the public with prices varying between 20 and 50 euro. The proceeds were going to the Fondation de Hôpital to help teenagers at risk, which was a very thoughtful idea. The collection unfolded as an exploration of sculptural form, geometric precision, and a muted monochromatic palette punctuated by shades of mink, gray, and brown. Inspired by the abstract purity of Constantin Brancusi's sculptures and the fluid expressiveness of Josephine Baker, the collection sought to distill movement and structure into wearable art. There were some fabulous pieces in this collection. For example, this asymmetrical jumpsuit in white wool gazar with a wide lapel embroidered with ivory feathers, or this long dress with ebony organza leaves embroidered with crystal. I also like this waistcoat embroidered with topaz and ebony feathers, with long, low-waisted skirt in second ebony muslin, embroidered with pieces of wood and crystal. And at the end, we had a bridal look with long strapless dress in white crepe embroidered with ivory feathers. I think this collection was very, very interesting and quite pretty actually. Next row on the schedule was Julien Fournié with his couture collection called First Circus, which blurred the lines between fashion and performance. The collection was a tribute to the designer's childhood imagination and flair for the theatrical, which means the show was a fantastical spectacle. The collection, Fournié said, is a celebration of the imagination, a nod to a shy child I once was, who invented fantastical characters far from prying eyes. Reaching the age of 50, I am now feeling completely free to reveal what has always been within me. Enthusiasm, dreaming, dancing, partying, in short, everything that has driven me and has set me in motion since childhood. In the house that bears my name and which I have founded 16 years ago, I don't really design and make fashion pieces, I create characters. This season, he wanted to add the excitement and joy of the couture process, dreaming, sketching, sewing, and performing, delivering a spectacle where fashion became a shared experience. Fournié's signature approach to couture was full on display, blending precise tailoring with flowing silhouettes and intricate embellishments. Sculpted bodices gave way to fluid drapery, while rich textures and opulent fabrics highlighted the interplay between structure and movement. His fascination with fantasy remained evident, with each look showing a sense of storytelling and drama. The collection was a testament to the collective artistry behind couture, showcasing the expertise of master embroiderers, pattern makers, and textile specialists. Every piece reflected meticulous craftsmanship, with details that underscored the dedication of the hands behind the seams. Beyond the garments themselves, the presentation underscored Fournié's belief in the performative nature of couture. From the runway's dynamic staging to the expressive gestures of the models, the show captured a spirit of joy and spectacle, reinforcing couture's role as an artistic and emotional experience. Through this collection, Fournié brought to life an array of personalities, superheroes, aliens, and witches, all realized with artisanal craftsmanship and innovative techniques. The following show was RVDK Roland van der Kemp. The designer, who only works with vintage and extra fabrics, found a treasure in Thai textiles, which gave Roland van der Kemp the inspiration for his collection titled Let the Sun Shine In this season. Down the runway, we could see a brilliant parade of shapes and colors: emerald green, jungle grass, sunset gold, and lotus pink, with the rich hues mixed in unexpected ways. Every outfit always stands on its own, he said backstage. The Dutch designer wanted to pay homage to the kingdom and did so with subtle cues referencing Thailand's traditional ornamental architecture. The show was staged at the Dutch ambassador's residence. Van der Kemp had already been experimenting with similar shapes, he said backstage after the show, and when he came across the textiles, it all came together. They were transformed into sky-sweeping shoulders, swirls on corsets, harem pants, and quilted tusk accents. Elsewhere, intricate flora and fauna embroidery popped. He also incorporated knit swatches in some of the garments, which added tactile intrigue to the collection that had an ample offering with cable-braided leather, stripes of silk jacquard, mousseline patchwork, and upcycled python remnants. The designer famously works only with vintage and found fabrics, the core of his manifesto to reinvent the fashion system when he launched the RVDK house in 2014. I always want to use things that people throw away and make them into something beautiful, he said. Van der Kemp elevates this ethos through handicraft and artisanship. His mastery at mixing textiles and silhouettes, presented against the lavish gold leaf decor of Dutch embassy, was all tied up in a visual feast. As Van der Kemp embarks on this next decade, his commitment to reinvention through upcycling remains unwavering. Proof that sustainable couture can be just as bold, glamorous, and full of panache. The final show of the day was Giorgio Armani Privè, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the brand. Armani Privè, launched in January 2005, stands as a crowning jewel of the Armani empire. Haute Couture allows me to step into a realm of fantasy and experimentation, expressing my vision through the art of savoir-faire in a way no other medium can, designer remarked. Creating is my reason for existing, said the 90-year-old Giorgio Armani. This collection mixed flashes of Southeast Asian-inspired tailoring with 1920s glamour. The brand described the collection as crossing eras and thoughts, places, and fantasies, and for the first time ever, the show took place inside Palazzo Armani, a historic building dating back to 1864-65 that houses the atelier and offices covered with marbled walls and richly decorative paintings. Against the maximalist Rococo surroundings, the gorgeous beaded gowns appeared. Some were so heavy and fully embellished that they could be heard as they were worn down the runway. In this collection, Giorgio Armani remains unapologetically true to himself, the master of elegant comfort, the pioneer of the chicest, effortless pantsuits. Here he delivered a masterclass on the genre, glammed up, infused with a dash of extravagance and imaginative place of textures and embellishments. Trousers, the quintessentially Armenian staple, took center stage in a multitude of forms. Slim, pleated, softly ballooned, tucked into high-heeled evening booties or gathered at the ankle, layered under asymmetrical tunics and billowing bustiers, and topped by petite pagoda, sleeved jacket or tops and waistcoats. While padding out hips has been a key story this couture season, Armani paraded mostly body-conscious gowns, often adding sexy portholes around the waist or carving out the back on many gowns. Models sported neat, close-to-head chignons or sparkling little beanies. The Italian designer, marking 50 years of his namesake brand in 2025, has been on a roll this season with standout men's collection in Milan earlier this month, and now this sophisticated, accomplished couture range. In his press notes, he said it's targeted at the well-traveled woman who has internalized her experience as glimmers of beauty to wear on her body. As the world becomes more divided and countries more isolated amid withering diplomacy and rising self-interest, designers are once again using their platform to acknowledge the beauty and complicity to be found in faraway places. Giorgio Armani used the occasion of his latest Privè couture collection, marking its 20th anniversary this year, to acknowledge once again how the linear elegance of Japan has informed his designs, not forgetting the shapes and colors of China, the opulence of India, the decorum of North Africa, and the landscapes of Polynesia. All these rich cultures were celebrated in silhouettes and expressed more vividly via pants, embroideries, and beading. Tailoring was cardigan easy with fancy vest at centerpiece of many pantsuits and trousers, often tucked into flat, transparent boots. The designer took a freewheeling, diverse approach to print and colors, which spanned from watercolor soft pastels to vivid blues and reds. Something to flatter most complexions could be found among the 94 looks. Haute couture is both a dream and a service, Armani adds. It's not about creating clothes for beautiful photos or memorable editorials, but designing for a real clientele. People of undeniable privilege who have occasions and commitments that demand a certain dress code. A haute couture dress is handmade and made to measure, allowing me to explore realms of fantasy, freedom, and fascinating experimentation. It is a chance to express my vision of style and elegance through craftsmanship and savoir-faire in ways that prêt-à-porter does not allow. There was no finale of this show. Instead, Giorgio Armani himself closed the show arm in arm with a model while waving to the audience, and the crowd went wild. If you're still here and still watching, thank you so much for sticking so long. Please let me know which show was your favorite. I think I am picking Armani, as it was such an amazing show, and it's so inspiring to see someone this age still doing what they love, still being able to create such amazing designs. He loves women and beauty, as all the garments were very flattering, and every woman that would put them on would instantly feel pretty. So I must pick Giorgio Armani Privè as my favorite, and very inspirational. As being 90 years old, I would still love to be able to do what I love and still be good at it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a day 3 recap or in some other videos.